Alright Nabababoons, the day has come. After months of testing, we have the final product of Jupero's 4 with all the goodies. This time around, we are going to go deep in the Sunking Sands and talk about what's new and how is the new map itself. The Sunking Sands is a new custom expansion of NovaRo, following the past Jupero's expansions, all of them being custom content. In this new content, we got a new map with new mobs, items and gears that will change the build of a lot of classes. The story of the Sunking Sands is pretty simple. As the adventurers of this mysterious place is full of machines and a forgotten civilization go deep in it, they find a big hole in the ground, where in it a lot of pretty strong monsters live. This monsters being part of two families, Immortal monsters and pestilent monsters. Who knows how many years this place has been like this, but something is for sure. The monsters that live here are no joke. To find this map, you need to head up to Jupero's 3 and find 3 NPCs in front of the big hole. This NPCs, if you wish, can give you an increased damage against Pestilent by 300%, increased damage against Primordial by a very large amount, and forces your armor to neutral if you talk to Josiah, and if you talk to their other that's called Dutch. He will give you an increased damage against Primordial by 300%, decreased damage against Pestilent by a very large amount, and forces your armor to neutral. Primordial monsters are earth and insect type, and pestilent monsters posy and fish type, with an absurd amount of health points. We are talking about 6 billion health points. Yes, you heard that right. This monsters have 6 billion health points, so you better be packing a big ass damage, because the Nova team was no joking with how resilient the monsters are. The drops of the monsters depends of what family are you planning to farm. Primordial monsters drop Primordial Cluster, pestilent monsters drop Pestilent Cluster, and both of the families drop Sands of the Lost and Radiant Crystalline. These items are needed to craft the new gear of this update. You can exchange the drops in the ancient camp with Radley, and do more interesting stuff with him, like enchant your LT hero boots, upgrade old shadow gear to make new ones, reform the new survival gear, etc. Let's take a look to each one of them. In this update, you can craft the Hero's Badge. Hero's Badge is a new accessory that can be enchanted, and has a combo effect with Hero's Boots LT. You can get this accessory for 1 hero ring. 75 Sand of the Lost, 50 Jupero's Scrap. Jupero's Scrap is a new item that can be found in Jupero's 3, with a rate of 2.26%. Killing any of the monsters that roams in there, and a rate of 33.3%, killing the new mini-boss. Hero's Badge can be enchanted too with 75 Sands of the Lost and 100,000 Zeni. The enchant can be resetted with 150 Sands of the Lost and 1 million Zeni. The second slot costs 175 Sands of the Lost and 500,000 Zeni. This enchants can be upgraded too. I will show you guys the enchants instead of saying them, because I will be sound mouthful with the text-to-speech. So, get a good look at them. The next thing on the list is the enchantment for the Hero Boots LT. If you didn't know, Hero Boots can be enchanted, but that wasn't introduced with the introduction of the boots. Now, we can enchant them. These are the requirements for do so. Convertible wings are one of the highlights of this update. This new garments can replace the temporal mants that we have been using for ages in some cases. Let's have a look. We can exchange the drops for 3 convertible wings if we wanted to. To get them, we need the next drops. This wings being physical, magical and critical. Physical wing gives, as the name says, physical damage. For every 2 refines, we get attack plus 5 and attack plus 1%. Increases physical damage against all size enemies by 3% per 3 refine rate. If refine rate is 7 or higher, increases attack speed. Reduces delay after attack by 7%. If refine rate is 9 or higher, reduces damage taken from neutral property by 7%. If refine rate is 11 or higher, increases melee and long-ranged physical damage by 10%. That by itself is really good, but it doesn't stop there. This wing's convo with deep blue sunglasses, victorious wing ears and battle processor. Let's have a look at the combos. When equipped with deep blue sunglasses, attack plus 7%, reduces variable casting time by 15%. When equipped with victorious wing ears, attack plus 7%, reduces global cooldown by 15%. When equipped with battle processor, attack plus 7%, increases melee and long-ranged physical damage by 5%. Battle processor is another of the gears that we can get in this update, and is an amazing headgear. We are going to talk about it later. Magical Convertible Wing gives magical attack plus 5, and magical attack plus 1% per 2 refine rate. Increases magical damage against all size enemies by 3% per 3 refine rate. If refine rate is 7 or higher, reduces variable casting time by 7%. If refine rate is 9 or higher, reduces damage taken from neutral property by 7%. And, if refine rate is 11 or higher, increases all property magical damage by 10%. This wing, just like the physical one, can combo with the other headgears that I said. These are the effects. And the last one is the critical wing. This wing gives the following: attack plus 5, and crit plus 2 per 2 refine rate. Increases physical damage against all size enemies by 3% per 3 refine rate. If refine rate is 7 or higher, increases attack speed. Reduces delay after attack by 7%. If refine rate is 9 or higher, reduces damage taken from neutral property by 7%. And if refine rate is 11 or higher, increases melee and long-ranged physical damage by 10%. The combos are the next ones. Have a look. We are at the half of this update. I would like you guys to leave a like and subscribe if you feel like it. Thank you. Battle processor can be exchanged for 30 million zenny. 1 runaway chip, 25 radiant crystalline, 350 sands of the lost, 15 arach bloodstone, and 500 juperium energy. This headgear can be enchanted too, and the enchants are pretty good. Better than we have right now. To enchant it, we need 15 sands of the lost plus 350,000 zenny, or 1 radiant crystalline plus 350,000 zenny. Every time you enchant it, you get 2 random enchants of the following table. Besides of the wings and the accessories, we can reform Survivor's gear to make LT versions. I will leave the patch in the description of the video, if you want to check out what they do. To make the Survivor's Circlet, you need the following drops: 200 Hero Enhancement Stone, 100 Jupero Scrap, and 250 Juperium Energy. And to reform it, it costs a plus 9 Survivor's Circlet, 10 Radiant Crystalline, and 200 Soft Silk. You can do this with Radley. To make the Survivor's Orb, you need 25 million zenny, 300 Crystal Fragment, 35 arach Bloodstone, 25 Jupero Scrap, and 300 Juperium Energy. To reform this gear, you need 1 Survivor's Orb, 1 CD and Mouth Type K, 150 Primordial Cluster, 150 Pestilent Cluster, and 750 Sands of the Lost. Good luck with getting CD. Mouth Type K is hard to get and very, very expensive. And in the shop we can get a lower headgear called Foxtail that gives fixed cast time and magic attack. Alright guys, we are almost done with this update. The next is the Shadow Gear. In this update we can upgrade old Shadow Gear for better ones. For example, Critical Hit Armor. This armor is an upgraded version of the Critical Shadow Armor. If you have the old version, you can refine it plus 9 with Radley. There's plenty of new Shadow Gear. To refine them, you can exchange Sunk Shadow Orb for 175 Sands of the Lost. This is the following Shadow Gear of this update. Alright everyone, that's it for the content of this update. In my opinion, we got plenty of stuff to play around. There's some stuff that I don't like about this content. For example, classes that are not meta will have a hard time trying to farm in there. If you are, for example, a Cardinal or a Imperial Guard, you are pretty much alienated from this content. I don't like the map being a solo map. It would be perfect if the map was at least duo. In my opinion, this map would have been very good if there was a duo mode. One of the party members can kill, for example, primordial monsters and the other pestilent dot. But this is not the case. I hope in the future we get more party-oriented custom content instead of solo stuff. Well, that's pretty much everything. Thank you everyone for being so supportive. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to have comments of people saying that they like the video. It keeps me going. As always, see you around.